It was only a little while ago that I was over $200,000 in debt, had absolutely no real income coming in, had no clue how I was gonna feed my family, was living at my in-laws' house, and absolutely hated my life. That was probably about 18 months ago or so. Now we live in Tulum in this absolutely stunning area in the jungle. We have pool, and we absolutely love our life. And this video is about how we were able to make this shift, not by finding a niche, not by figuring out ads, none of that stuff, because it doesn't matter. It was the mental shift that had to change. So I wanted to spend some time talking about that and how you can ensure you guarantee your success, not by finding the hottest keyword, not by figuring out how to run ads, not by finding the best cover. It's how to control what's up here. And that's coming up in this video. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Emeka here, and this is the Publishing Academy YouTube channel. And in it, our goal is simple: give you the best free KDP advice on YouTube, the best, so you can start making money with it today. And then when you're ready, you can come work with me and my team, and we can help you scale to $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month like our students. Today's video is going to be very different. It is going to be a mindset video. Before you I don't want to listen to a mindset video, you probably need this more than anybody, 100%. Because the next keyword, niche, ad, cover, description, title, whatever, none of that shit matters if you're fucked up in here. And this is going to be a video that will be triggering for some people because it's reality. But I'm going to come from a place of vulnerability and I sound like Brene Brown. Sorry. Okay. It's just that word. But from personal experience. And I'm going to explain the shift that I had to make myself, because some of you are in that same spot. And I've seen this inside my paid group with some students, and I've seen this inside the YouTube comments with people, and I've seen this inside lots of other groups as well. And so I just wanted to spend some time, and it's going to go around these 4 things that we're going to be talking about here in this video. And I'm just going to be, as always, brutally honest and straight up with you guys, because I'll say the things that other people are too scared to say, because the truth is the only thing that matters, and facts don't care about your feelings. So I'm going to just lay it out for you, and you can take what you like, you can not take what you don't like, and then you can run with it and see what happens. Right? Because that's it. That's all we can do. So let's dive into it. And I'm going to start off with a very, 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 very controversial one first. You have to stop talking to some of your friends and family if you want to become successful, straight up. And you're probably thinking, whoa, what do you mean? There are levels to life. And the majority of people, like Americans, for example, the medium income, that's what most people are happy earning. And they accept that, hey, if I can earn around that amount, or like 60 grand a year, I'm doing okay. And that's okay for them. But what if you're somebody who's way more ambitious and you want to earn like 100, 150, 200, or $300,000 a year? You have to become a very different person than the person who's earning $54,000 a year is. The fastest way to become different is to stop hanging out with those people. And before you rip me apart in the comments, I'll share experiences with this. And I've been on the receiving end of it, and I've been on the decision-making, I'm cutting you off end of it. I've seen both, and one hurt, and one hurt even more. I've seen friends level up their business, and I didn't. And when I was reaching out to them, the distance became longer and longer and longer, and then just stopped. And all of a sudden, I could no longer reach out to them. They just moved on because I hadn't leveled up. And it took me a while to understand that, but then it did. And it's funny, I was watching a Hermosi video when it clicked, and I was like, yo, shit, I totally get it now. I would have done the same thing. That makes a lot of sense. And it completely clicked. And zero animosity, zero bad feelings or anything. It was just pure understanding. And if anything, it was respect, saying, bro, you made a hard decision. And I'd make that decision over and over again the same way. And you have to understand that in order to achieve levels of success that you want to achieve, the people closest to you, you're going to have to make a decision on whether or not you want them to stay around you or not. because the majority of people are just completely fine with mediocrity. Those are not the people I want in my lives. Those are not the people that we let our kids hang around with, right? We're very protective on the type of people, we spend time with, especially in the type of friends that my kids spend time with. If I was like talking to a 5-year-old, right? In life, there's winners and losers. It's not that they're good and bad people. It's just some people are way more ambitious and want a lot more out of life than others. Some people don't, and they accept mediocrity and they accept whatever's given to them, and they complain about like who's president or who's this or what party's in charge or Amazon makes this change, whatever the case is, and they don't take any responsibility for their actual life to change the outcome that they're getting. And by definition, they're losers. Plain and simple. Now that I explain it, I'm confident in calling those type of people losers. Because if you're not going to take responsibility for the results that you want in your life, for the income you want to make, for the decisions you want to make, for the food you want to eat, for being like fat or healthy, all of it is responsibility. And we have the choice to make all of it. And so getting back to finances, there was a point when, I was climbing up from rock bottom, like Batman, climbing out of the hole. I was climbing out and I realized that the person I was hanging out with the most, the closest person to me, was the rope that Bruce Wayne had around his waist. It was the security blanket. And, he could reach for it and jump for it, but he knew, I'm not dying. I'm safe. I can always come back here. They always got my back, right? They'll help me justify why I'm not making this money or whatever the case is, right? And it got to a point in time when it just clicked. I was like, I got to cut this person out of my life. Fuck, I haven't seen them for 2 years. I haven't called them. I haven't returned calls. I haven't returned texts for like 2 years. And it crushes me, but it's necessary because my life's more important than theirs. My family's life is more important than theirs. And I go back and forth with this. I was like, I should reach out. I almost reached out to them, but I was like, fuck it. My trajectory is too fucking important right now to get distracted by somebody else who is they're just accepting whatever they have, and that's it. Like, they have zero ambitions to move forward, and they don't bring any additional value to my life. And that's just, I know how it sounds, but that's fucking reality. And especially when you start leveling up your game, that's it. And, you ask yourself, okay, how many people do you know that make $100,000 a year? And you probably know a couple, right? You could probably pick up the phone, reach out to a couple people who earn 6 figures a year, right? Those people are wildly different than the people who earn 6 figures a month. Like, insanely different. Insanely different. How many people do you know that you could call up right now and they'll pick up your phone who earn 6 figures a month, right? When I was thinking of this video, I was going through that in my head. I was like, all right, then the people who I know who earn 6 figures a month, I'm like, all right, cool. I know a few I could probably call and I'll get a response back, and then, probably pretty quick. But then the next level up, when we go from 6 figures a month to 6 figures a day, I'm like, oh shit, I know, because I'm still waiting to hear back from one of them. That has been like a couple weeks, but I know the response time is usually 4 to 6 weeks, because we haven't cracked 6 figures a month yet. We're close, but we haven't cracked that. I'm not at that level yet. And they hang out with people, their closest circle is people above the level that I'm at. And I respect that because they're still leveling up. And so their time is spent doing and being around the people that are going to give them the highest ROI right now. And that's just totally respectable. And when you start looking at things like this, if your family member or your friend doesn't make a shit ton of money, should you cut them off and never talk to them again? Well, no, but you should definitely limit the amount of time you spend speaking with them. Another point on this is, how much mental capacity do you have for these type of people who always complain, who always have a problem, who can never find a solution, and they're always asking for something? I have zero time for that. You shouldn't either. Your business, your life, your family should be so important that you protect it. You protect it with everything you possibly have to ensure nothing can penetrate that wall of protection. No negative thoughts, no doubts, no nothing, right? When you're starting a business, an online business, when you're the first person in your friend circle or your family circle to start an online business, right? It's completely foreign. Especially when your family or your friends, they're all like people who are employees, right? They all work at their jobs. They have their bosses. They have to beg for time off. They have to beg when they can eat, beg when they can go to the bathroom, right? If that's who your circle is, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm going to go start an online business. A what? No, you can't do that. That's hard. That's possible. It's too risky. No, what's risky is working for somebody who could fire you at any moment. Like, that's stupid. That's risk. But betting on yourself? Oh no, there's not a better bet you can make. Always, always, always bet on yourself. And one of the things I can give you is, like, when you're starting off, don't share what's going wrong. Only share the wins. And only share the wins with the people who know are going to support your wins and not condemn them. Because there's nothing worse than celebrating a win that you have when you have that family member or that friend who just tries to find the negative in it. And those are the people you need to cut out. Just cut them out. Stop answering your phone, right? When they call 5 times, you answer once. Eventually they'll get the message. And like I said, this is nothing, this isn't supposed to be harsh. This isn't supposed to be anything. This is the reality of leveling up your life. In order to level up your life, there will be friendships and relationships that have to die. And that's okay, because you got one life and you need to live it the way you want. And some of you are like, oh, I don't want to leave those friends. Well, that's okay. You just have to understand the sacrifice that you're making, and it's your future goals. It's the future dream life that you want. If you're going to hang out with certain people around your close circle of friends, that's just the sacrifice you're going to end up making. And I can say the exact same thing. And I see this in groups, in publishing groups all the time. Don't hang out with people who are always complaining about changes, who aren't making any money, who think everything's hard, who cry about Amazon doing something. Like, don't hang out with them. They're fucking losers. Hang out with winners who say, Amazon made a change. This is challenging, but here's what I'm thinking about a solution. I'm going to do this. Oh, damn, this happened, but here's what I'm going to do instead. Like, those are winners. Hang out with winners. Don't hang out with people who are just crying, bitching, and complaining all the fucking time, because they won't do anything for your business except for hurt it, right? You don't want a pity party. That's the worst possible thing you can have, is a pity party. So be careful who you talk to in these groups, because the ones who complain and cry and whine and bitch and moan are the ones who never find success in this business or any business. Point 2 is the elimination of all alternatives. Look, when you're starting this business, or you're considering getting into this business, or you're in it, you've been in it for a couple months, couple of years, you're still wondering, should I do it? Should I not? I had a really good friend, Ollie. He's alive. I have a good friend, Ollie. And he told me, Emeka, if you're going to do this, for the love of God, can you just commit to 6 months? Right? It was when I was going to come back to coaching. He's like, you've been jumping around from thing to thing to thing. And he saw me through my low times. So he's like, you keep jumping around from this to this, this. You do all the things that we know never work. And if you're going to commit to this, if you're truly going to do this, I need you to just please commit to it for 6 months for seriousness, right? Like 6 serious months. And I'll never forget that. And I said, well, I didn't tell him, but in my mind, after a call, I was like, well, okay, I'll just commit to it for 12 months. I could do 12 months. I could commit to coming back for 12 months, see what happens. And that's what I did. There was no second. There was no like backup plan. There was no plan B or any of that. It was like, all right, I'm just going to only do this for 12 months and see what happens. Worked out pretty damn well. If you do the same thing with your Amazon KDP business, I can pretty much guarantee you will change your life in 12 months. Not 12 weeks, not 12 days, 12 months. Shit takes time, longer than you think. But if you commit to, working like pretty much every day, learning every day, like publishing books, understanding you're going to fail a lot through the next 12 months. But if you commit to it for 12 months of getting better and better and better and better and better, you will change your life. But if you do it, you do this KDP thing, publish some books, and then you're also starting like this, I don't even know what other side. You want to start a YouTube channel. You want a software. build the software, okay? And you want to do that. It's not going to work. One of the biggest lies or misconceptions that people have when they start their passive income lifestyle type of thing here, it's that, well, millionaires have 7 different streams of income. Okay, but it took one stream of income to make them a millionaire, and then they added 6 more to multiply their income. So that's the part nobody talks about, right? And ask any millionaire, ask any deca millionaire, whatever they're called when they have like tens of millions, right? That's how it works. That's the game. And so the same thing applies with Amazon KDP. If you're trying to get 6 figures, it's one system, one method, one platform for a year. You'll get to 6 figures. But if you try Amazon and then you try to do TikTok and you try to do this and that, it's going to lead to nothing but headache. Number 3, it goes hand in hand with why you need to focus on this for 12 months. Your first month in this business might be like negative like $300. Your second month might be negative 100. Your third might be positive 47. Your fourth, $200. Your fifth, maybe 250. Your sixth, you got cocky. Maybe you're like $100 in the positive. Your seventh might be $3,000. Your eighth might be 3,200. Your ninth might be 10 grand. But do you see that scale? Look at that scale. That's how this business works. It's not linear. We're not employees. We don't just make a little and then make a little more, make a little more. This business is all up and down, but the ups make up for so many of the downs. And the ups happen overnight. It just takes a few nights for that first overnight success. And I have seen this with training thousands of students. I've seen this in my account over and over and over again with different books. That reason should be the reason that sells you on why you need to give this 12 months. Because if you give it 6 months, you're gonna end up leaving before success even had a chance to catch up to you. And that happens all the time, all the time. Number 4, the learning tax. The learning tax is something I remember learning back in 2016. I was starting my business. And basically what it is you're going to waste money on things because you just don't know they're bad ideas, right? You're going to hire bad freelancers on Fiverr. You're going to create covers that everyone will tell you will suck, but you didn't ask anyone for like 6 months. And so for 6 months, you ran a book, ran ads and everything with this cover that was just bloody awesome, but your mom told you it was wonderful. And so you published it anyways because you listened to your mom. That's the learning tax you're paying. It's just wasting money. Every single person has to pay this. You can't escape it. It's going to happen. It happens differently for everyone, but everyone pays for it. So when you do something and myself or somebody else who has more experience says, that's a bad idea, you need to stop what you're doing, and you've already invested money into it, whether it's a couple $100 or maybe it's $1,000, right? Ouch. That's just learning tax. Don't look at it as failure. Just look at it as okay, well, I guess that was the learning tax I had to pay for this project. It happens. And it's just shifting the mindset so you accept that. And when you look at it, you can apply it to like all levels of business. I still pay the learning tax for certain things, right? There's still mistakes I make in the business that just don't work out the way that I want and cost me thousands of dollars. And it's like, oh man, learning tax. Oh well, whatever. At least I know not to do that again, right? Without going through that, you don't know. That's what's called the learning tax. Now, the fifth thing, right? Give you a bonus here. This is one for the people who say that they can't afford something. Okay. And I've seen this like with close family and friends, and then also talking with students and stuff like this, is when you say you can't afford something, but you still have a Netflix subscription or any streaming subscription, you're lying to yourself. Because spending money on entertainment when you're like in massive amounts of debt, not like 10 or like, I'd say like 50 grand or so, like real debt, not like, a couple credit cards, real debt. You're just choosing to ignore where your money's going. And there's a big difference between people who are broke because they make stupid decisions and they're not tracking every single dollar, and then people who are broke because they literally have no money, and they know that. And I've been both. I don't allow tuna in our house anymore. My wife can eat tuna if she wants, but the rule is never ask me if I want it, never assume I want it, and do your absolute best for me never to see it. Ever. That's because when we had no money, I ate tuna for lunch and dinner for over a year. And not like nice tuna. Tuna from a fucking package mixed with mayo, some salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, maybe a cucumber if I wasn't, if I was lucky enough. And that was the food every day for lunch and dinner because it was dirt cheap and I had protein. Mostly it was dirt cheap though because I couldn't afford to go to the gym, so I didn't give a fuck about the pretzel. But that's all we could afford. And when I'm talking to people and they're like, I have no money, one of the first things I ask them is like, well, what did you eat yesterday? I went out to this store, I went out to McDonald's. It's like, okay, so you have money. You're just fucking being irresponsible. So you have money. Acknowledge that. You're just choosing to spend it on shit. You're not suffering. I suffered for 18 long months or so. And that was the reason we were able to dig ourselves out of the hole. Because we suffered like people are not willing to suffer. And it brought like a different meaning to the word home, right? And so now when I talk to people and they're like, I can't do this. And I dig it, it's like, you're not even suffering yet. You think you are, but you're not. Like, you're so far away from getting to the point of immense pain and suffering. Like, you have no idea. And until you hit that, you're never going to change. We had to do that because there was no money coming in. And so that was the cheapest thing that we could eat. And every penny we had at that time, like every little penny we had, this was when we were doing coloring books, right? Every penny that we had went right back to Amazon, right back to ad, right? I used like every single dollar, penny, dime, nickel, quarter, right back onto the card so we could just run more ads and I could do more testing and figure it out. Every single one. And like that's all we could do. That's all we could do. And luckily I moved to high content and then it really started paying off. But you have to do a full audit, right? If you're feeling like, oh, are we pinching pennies? You're not pinching pennies enough, right? You're not pinching pennies enough. Like, go move in with your in-laws. If your in-laws are close, like, go move in with your in-laws. Go live there for like 12 to 18 months. That's what we did, right? Like, how serious are you about changing your life? Some of you are like, I'm pretty serious, Emeka, but you're not willing to do this, this, and this, and this. All right, so you're not that serious. You would just like it, but you would like it on the easy path. Okay, well, we don't get both, right? And, and I can only come on and say these things because, once again, everything that I've said, I personally lived through it myself, sometimes more than once, unfortunately. Some things we'll never live through again because I've learned that lesson and it's internalized and it's changed. Like you can't change your DNA. But it's like, it's changed my behavior as a human being on a permanent level, right? Like, I cringe at spending like $100 still. Like, I look at something, it's like, ugh, do I really want to buy it? And it's like, we could spend it without even knowing it. But it's like, do I really want that shirt? Like, do I really, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't have to get it, right? And it's like, I have to like, okay, you know what I could do? If we do this, this, and this, then I'll go get it. It's like, for $100, I need to make it like $5,000. It's just because my mentality has just shifted so much. The behavior it's completely different now because of how painful going through that experience was, that it will never happen again. And so many of you aren't experiencing that enough. And I don't know. Hopefully this is going to be a wake-up call. For some of you, it will be. For some of you, you'll watch this video and it'll resonate with you. And then there will be probably the majority of you will watch this and you're just going to put it off. Be like, that's not possible. I could do some other way. And like, I don't know, you might be able to. But success leaves clues. And there are certain patterns of behaviors that allow people to achieve success. And it's like successful people don't hang out with losers. Successful people manage their money really, really, really well, right? Successful people understand that spending money and failing is not a failure. It's the price of success. And successful people understand that sticking with something for a long enough period of time and putting enough reps in to that one thing with no plan B is the surefire way to guarantee them success in anything that they do. So I really, really, really hope you're able to take that away from this video. All right, if you want massive success going into Q4, I got something for you. I'm going to be working with 15 publishers over the next few weeks, all throughout Q4. I'm going to be helping them first initially identify what books they want to publish, what new books they have coming up, and what their current books are doing. And then we're going to be setting up all of your ads specifically for Q4. Me setting them up with you, not like you go watch a video. It's like on the call, we're setting up your ads. This is going to be the most intense one-on-one sessions I've ever done with anyone before. Capped out at 15 publishers. Then throughout Q4, we're going to be having weekly calls where we are looking at all of your ads and identifying the winners and cutting off the losers, helping you scale to $10,000 to $20,000 in profit. That's the goal. Obviously, disclaimer, right? You have to put the effort in, right? Depends on how much you have for ads, yada, yada, yada. But if you want to be one of those 15 people, this is only available to my students. So step one is there's a link in the description. You can join Profit Formula Publishing Academy. You don't have to watch the training. You can just join it right there. Boom. Once you're in, you can either message me on SKOOL or reply to the email that says, hey, congratulations, you're in, welcome. And say, hey, Emeka, I want to set up a call to be one of your 15. Then we'll book a call and we can chat more about working together one-on-one for the Q4 Accelerator. That's what the program's called. This is only for serious folks. If you do not have a book published yet, you're welcome to get the core program, but do not book a call with me for the Accelerator. This is probably not going to be the best fit for you. If you are dead broke, this is probably not going to be the best fit for you either. It's not cheap to work with me, and you're going to need cash on hand or credit on hand in order to run your ads as well. So those are the two caveats. Just take that into account. But the link in the description. Step one, join the program. Step two, reply to the email, and you can book a call with me. Other than that, for everyone else, if you want to learn how to publish a book, don't watch another video. There's something called the 3-Day Publish and Profit Challenge, where I will show you how to find a topic, write a book, publish a book, and profit from the book all within 3 days. There's a link for that in the description or the pinned comment as well. And that, as always, is completely free. It's my gift for you because my goal is to help you make money first. Then you can pay me so I can help you take that money and scale it to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. Because that is when life starts getting really good. Till next time, everybody, I'm Emeka. Peace.